to the Power Up Talk Show, a talk show where we bring together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a change in our world. I am Sandy Spady, your host, and today we have Terri Smieja.
Yeah, girl, just
We're gonna do
yes.
it. Okay,
Yes.
Laverne and Shirley. If you had never seen that show, we grew up with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fun name. Now my mitt is hot. I'm like, whoa, it's hot in my mouth. Okay, Terri.
Yes.
You are born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
That is correct.
But you lived all over because of the
have.
military. You've seen the world. You bring every experience to every town you've lived in. I know you. You're a Spitfire.
Thank you.
The owner of ITEX Omaha. She leads an award-winning performing office, now expanding into 4 states.
We've decided to go big.
Go big or go home. That's what they say.
Yep.
She also serves on the board of MOWBC. What's that stand for?
It's a Metro Omaha Women's Business.
Ooh, I got to be part of that.
Yes.
Okay. And she really just helps women and people and businesses grow. And she supports, 16 nonprofits?
That is correct.
I love it. Okay. She also loves to drive her Corvette. Yeah, Prince,
story.
1999, little red Corvette. What color is it?
Yellow.
Yellow,
I'm the
trouble yellow.
from
Ooh, I need a
Yeah.
picture of that.
Okay.
All right, Terri. Fast cars, fast trades. What do you do? What is ITEC?
Well, on a day-to-day basis, I am saving business owners cash. I'm a barter club. I'm a deal maker between business owners. We've been around 28 years, and I've done $84 million in transactions.
Wait,
This is not small time.
high five right here, girl. And can you repeat that for the audience?
84 million in transactions. What that means
Yeah.
is I've saved somebody $84 million. Wow. These business owners that I work for. I have 300 clients, and I am just deal maker between them. I either liquidate, fill in empty seats for your dentists, your hair salons, you name it. If you can collect cash, you can collect barter.
How does it work?
So we're a barter bank.
Okay.
What we simply do is we create this bank for you. So if you do the trade, let's say it's a hair salon, traded haircuts, hair dyeing, goes into the barter bank. And then maybe she needs a dentist. So she goes to the dentist and writes a check from her barter bank. Then she can go on a trip. ITEX is the largest bartering organization in the world. We're a public held company, and I own the franchise here in the Nebraska-Iowa market share. And so what you earn here local, you can turn around and spend local, national, or international.
Wow.
So we've probably my 3rd largest tickets are going to be travel. Didn't take me long to figure out when I moved to Omaha, everybody wants to go somewhere else.
Especially you were born in Hawaii. Of course, you've seen the world. So
Right,
we're
right.
stuck here in the cold. So of course we want to travel.
We're not stuck.
Yeah,
We're
I know.
bartering.
We
We're
love
getting-
it. We love it.
I love it. My auto detailer, I traded out Bahamas. You know, he typically wouldn't have not afforded that, but he took 6 people to the Bahamas on a Bahamas trip.
So how it works is I have a service, Power Up Masterminds.
Right.
It's a consulting service. I have mastermind courses. I have public speaking courses.
Yes.
I go to you and say, I will trade out Barden or
Barter.
Yeah.
You got it.
My masterminds class is, it's over $3,000 value. I
Okay.
put it in your bank.
Correct.
And then what?
Then you get to pick out of our selection, either local or national.
So if I
what
want
you wanna spend.
advertising, or if I have an event, or if I have a restaurant or happy hour that I want to use,
Correct.
I can put that $3,000
Into-
and then they trade out. If they're in your circle,
Correct.
then someone will take my trade out. What if no one wants my trade out? No in trouble?
I'm good.
Oh, she's
We're not
good.
worried about that.
Don't worry about that. I'll
Yeah,
find
we'll
someone.
figure that one out. Yeah, so I'm really 28 years in the business. I've done well.
Wow.
Yeah, so
What's your number one business that really enjoys it? Like, tell me a couple of them. Like, what's your
my
You're
top
loyal.
traded
Yes.
ticket item is advertising. My background education's marketing, so I trade over $1.5 million of that. Period. Right there. So I have some clients. Omaha Magazine is a big client of mine.
Nice.
He's up there, 50 to 100,000 a year. that we're trading out for certain things. But
Wow.
just depends who you are, what level you want to play. I probably have 3 different clients that have done well over $2 million in transactions, and I'm a part of their business plan. Some do it to maybe just liquidate excess inventory. Maybe they're an Amazon seller and they just need that shelf space. And so Amazon kicks that product off of their program, and he calls me and says, Terry, I got to get rid of it. Amazon won't accept it anymore. So I find new homes. I have different buyers than he does. Even though he serviced the whole world, I service, barter community. So there's over 20,000 member business owners that belong to our organization that utilizes the barter credits for new business over and above their cash business. Not there to replace cash, but to add another value, another source of income to help. At the end of the day, it's that bottom line that counts. It really is. Doesn't matter how you got there. When you really think about it, there's all types of currencies out there. You have credit card points. You have hotel points. That's another form of currency. So all ITEX is a private currency of our own company that we do virtual currency within itself. So the bartering industry is about an $18 billion industry. Best kept secret out there. Unless you're a business owner, we don't call on you, or you look us up on the internet. That's how you're going to find out who we are, what we do.
How does that work then? Is it a membership? How do you make money as a business?
It is a membership-based company. I charge a 6% commission to make a deal happen.
Okay.
So when you said, how do you know whether you'll do it? I don't take on a job unless I know I can do it. But sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised. I may underestimate something and say, well, I'm not really sure. I've not done that, but let's give it a shot. Let's try it, And I've got such great success stories of what I've done for different people. And even I'm surprised. I've learned things just in the everyday living in doing it.
Okay, now that you said that, I have to ask.
Okay.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Tell me some success stories.
Okay, so, we'll start with me.
Yeah.
I was a client of ITEX for 7 years down in San Antonio, Texas. I meet this military guy. We have a $17,000 wedding, and I traded out $15,000 for that wedding. Including his entire family coming from Minnesota, staying at a hotel. I got them rental cars. We had the the dinner, and then we went out to Splash Town afterwards. But I did the wedding gowns, the tuxedos, the wedding cake was paid by my friend, but all the flowers, the DJ, the entertainment, the hall was paid cash. It's just the story. I rented my wedding gown on trade. So I was pretty intrigued that I was able to put that whole thing together by trading the videographer, the photographer, the limousine company. The list just goes on and on. But so I was so excited that I could do that when he announced, we're moving very shortly after we got married. We're moving to Nebraska. And so I said, what's that?
What is that?
He said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to do that barter club. I said, that was so fun. I think I could do that, pull it off. It's a franchise. The oldest barter club that existed was here in Grand Island.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, and I soon bought her out. I bought out the Lincoln, the Grand Island. Des Moines was given to me because it just failed.
You're a rock star.
It failed, and they said, give it to Terry, she'll take care of it. It's still going. Yeah.
It's funny because in advertising, when I sold radio, TV advertising, a lot of times we did trade outs.
Right.
And I still do trade outs. I have a service that you need, and you have a service that you want from me. So we're not exchanging money, but we're exchanging services, but you do products and service.
Well, so the difference, what you did, is called direct trade. The haves and wants have to match in order for that business deal to go down.
Okay.
What ITEX does is we're a clearinghouse for barter credits. You never have to worry about wanting what that person has when they come to you. You literally, like I have some training classes, and they do Zoom classes like Sandler Cells and Crestcom. They're online. They'll do Zoom classes. And literally we'll get clients from Ohio, from Florida, from Hawaii that will buy these classes with trade, and it just goes into their barter bank, And then they turn around and get janitorial services, printing done, catering done for their events, those kind of things.
Well,
So,
I got to sign me up.
yes, let's
I
do
got
it.
great coaches in my game.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
That's so interesting.
Yep.
So when was that when you moved to Nebraska? How many years?
1997.
97.
So,
Wow.
and my husband's since retired from the Air Force. And we're still going. I had 5 children between, with us, we both had 5, together we had 5. Well, we only had 1 together, but a family was 5. And we did all the kids' starter cars. We did the orthodontics on trade. One was in football, so he had the chiropractor on trade. He had the agility training on trade. The other girl was the only girl. She was a pageant girl. Okay, she still is. Right now, she's Miss Cover Girl Nebraska.
That's so cool.
Okay,
we'll have her on the talk show.
Hello, right?
Yeah.
And so, literally, with her, she was very expensive. Yeah. So she had a lot of needs. So we did her hair, her custom painted room, her bed sheets. Everything was so uppity up. Oh, she was a baby.
She was the baby, and she's the only girl. She's gonna get spoiled rotten.
Absolutely.
Wow, and those pageant dresses can be a lot. So you have something else too.
Yes.
That just made me think to ask. Yes.
Okay. Well, I got to tell you about the Corvette.
Okay. Yeah.
So every year, I didn't plan very well. We want to parade her in the parade in Ralston because we're downtown Ralston, and so we never could get a convertible to parade her. So I'm in Branson at a barter show doing my thing. And so all of a sudden this Corvette comes up and I bid on it. And everybody turned around and looked at me. What do you need a Corvette for? I said, I just need it. And so I trade for a whole Corvette just so I could parade her in the parade. So then I turned around and I said, you know what? I'm going to join the Corvette Club so I can get more Corvettes to parade the other girls in the parade for Cinderella's formal gown rental, which I own as well. So instead, they get me racing, motocross racing, and that was so fun. I didn't ever even think that was a thing.
Wow.
But they have the women's division, and the last recorded time was I won 8th place in the region of Nebraska and Iowa.
You raced?
Oh, yes.
She's a racer.
I
just got cooler by the minute.
Overachiever. So like, we're going to do this. Let's just do it big.
I love that. No wonder you're so successful.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. So now let's go into your Cinderella
Okay.
store, right? Because that's,
Oh
I've
my
had it
gosh.
daughters, right? The prom dresses are a lot of money.
A lot of money. So it started off, my husband was in Iraq, and of course, I can't be still. I got to do is keep busy because he's gone. What am I going to do? I'm already running ITEX. I had a great team of people. So I rented my wedding gown on ITEX. It was actually, I did trade for it, but that was in Texas. And I thought, you know what? Nebraska needs a formal gown rental store because why are they paying all that money? The $300 to $800 for a 4-hour wear, maybe 5 hours, with dinner and stuff. But I said, I need to do this because I had a lot of friends at that time of my daughter's parents were being laid off and they didn't have the money. And I was big in the women's organizations. I attended a lot of galas, so I already had a lot of dresses myself. My daughter was a prom. Not a pageant girl. So we had a lot of dresses. I go, let's just start this. I was so fearful I couldn't do it because the expense of the dresses. Well, then I did a volunteer for a company that's not around, but they gave away free prom dresses, and I was their seamstress.
Oh, nice.
So I can sew too.
Nice. Another talent check.
Yes,
okay, nice.
yes. And so, and I became the advisor on what dress fit the body, and should you do this? We could take it in. We could do all this stuff. I don't do that for my own store. Maybe the first year I saved some money. I didn't sub it out, but. Kind of grew from there. So I believe it's been around 14 years.
Wow.
And we do a lot of wonderful things for, the girls that couldn't afford dresses will donate dresses. We always ask the counselor, look, you call me personally. I don't need to know the girl story. Just we'll give you vouchers so they can come get a free dress from me. And so we just we've done, it's just all started off that when there was a tornado out there in Iowa and took out all the dress stores, and a
before
good
prom?
friend, it was homecoming. My good friend, she was down there, Waverly is, and she was down there. She goes, Terry, it's so devastating. I go, well, let's do something. We all are business owners. We know a lot of business owners. Let's do something for them. And so I said, I'll give them free homecoming dresses. And so we did that. And literally the principal said, if you had not done that, we were going to cancel it.
Because it's the girls need their dress.
Well, they not just that need their dress. Some couldn't even afford a dress. You can go to Des Moines, but they didn't feel right when the family had lost the home.
To ask money for a dress.
Right.
Wow.
So I just donated the dresses, and then after that, I got known for donating. So we donate to special needs girls. A Night to Shine is in January, and so just different people have approached me, and I said, of course. Oh, and the most beautiful story is with Carrie Orozca. She approached me for the police ball Special Olympics. She goes, would you give money back if we send the women police officers, they don't own dresses. I said, of course, I'll outfit them. And then I donated. And then when she had an event to go to, she came to me and said, Terry, she says, I need a dress. I just had a baby. And of course, all women know how it feels.
We all know.
Yes. And so I picked out a very sexy red dress. She says, oh, I love it. I love it. Her husband, Nick, stayed it. And then she goes, okay, I'll pick this long dress and this will be good for church. I said, take the red one. I said, and then slip it on when you go dancing. And she put it on. She came back and I said, how did it look? She goes, he loved it.
Of course he loved it. That's my girl.
He told
That's my girl.
Yes. So that's the picture they showed her on TV.
Wow.
That my dress.
Because it was a nonprofit there that they were dancing for, kind of like what I did for Youth Emergency Services, right? You dressed up for the event.
Yes.
Wow, that's a great story.
Oh, it's just the fact that she was part of my life, and she's the one that, and it was so funny because she called me and I didn't return the call, and then I completely forgot, and then she just showed up at my doorstep. And she said, we were wondering, and I said, of course I would help. She goes, I called you. I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
We're bad at that kind of stuff. I know. We're all people. Well, people. It gets misplaced.
Yes,
you don't do it on purpose. We never do.
Right.
Wow.
So,
and doesn't the autism or the Down syndrome, is that the Night to Shine, or what is that event?
That's special needs girls.
Yeah.
And so I don't know all of their, what their history is and all of that, but they're wonderful.
Oh,
Wonderful.
I did a fashion show for Down syndrome when I was on the board for the ARC, and I dressed all of them at the Herberger store in Norfolk, Nebraska.
Okay.
I had so much fun.
Right.
They're so lovely and so happy, and they don't complain, and they hug. It was beautiful.
I know.
And so I know the sense of, like, when you help out, like, you get so much back in return.
Oh, you get more.
And they're so happy. They're so happy and thankful. Those are some great
And the parents are happy, too.
Yes.
So that you're just doing this to help them because they have other expenses.
Is that store always open, or is it called to, like, how does that work? Like, open during special times for prom and homecoming, or how does that work for scheduling?
No, we're open 4 days a week.
Okay.
Special posted hours, 2 to 6. And then everything else is by appointment. So, just call me, but give me, don't call me that morning and say, can I get in that afternoon?
So give you like a week heads up would
something
be nice
like that.
at least.
Yeah, something like that. I've opened people that flew in from Australia, and there's a wedding the next day, and they didn't get in till 8 or 10. I go, of course I'll open. I live 7 minutes.
That's a great story.
Yes.
Just post that you're from Australia, please, and take it. I mean, how cool is that?
We've done a lot. Oh, and then what we did, my most beautiful story. I don't know how much time we have.
I love stories.
I love stories too. But this woman walked in, and it's Saturday, and I don't really work the store, but Saturdays I try to do it and make sure things are in order. And she walks in, I look at her, and I said, how can I help you? She said, I need a Mother of the Bride dress. I said, when? She goes, in an hour and a half, 2 hours. I go, what? And she goes, my dress didn't come in. I ordered it online. And that's very common. I hear that a lot. But this one was special. And I said, well, let's see what we can do to help you. And so we measured her, and I said, oh, okay, let's go to the rack. And I pulled out a dress. She goes, oh my God, that's the dress I ordered.
No way.
Yes, and it was in her size. And I said, okay, well, you got to tell me your story. You know, you're from California. You just came in town and for this wedding for your son. And she said, yes. But here's why I had to have this dress. She goes, Terri, I gave up my son when I was 16 years old. And he found me. He's now, I think he was 19, 20. He found me. And his number one wish why he found me was to walk him down the aisle. And I thought, she goes, without a dress, I can't do it. I can't walk him down. I go, we're going to get you a dress. We'll get you, even if I have to take my needle and thread and make this work.
Dust off the tailor.
Yes, that's
and
right.
it was the same dress she ordered.
Yes.
That was such a God moment right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That is, you can't even make that up.
So many tears that when she walked in and said, I have a dress. I go, how many stores did you go to? She goes, you're the first store I came to. She goes, and I was praying that you're the only store because I have no time to go shop for find a dress.
How did she find you? How did people find you like that?
Google, internet, because we specialize in our plus size figures. That is our ticket, because when you walk in and you're plus size, we have 100 to 200 dresses in your size that you can pick. And they're like, everybody says, you're serious? You have this many? Department stores don't even carry it. I go, this is my specialty. I figured it out the first year when everybody cried and left because I didn't have that size in stock. You know, and then I realized
that's just normal size. Let's get to reality,
you can get
right?
that anywhere.
I mean, but in other, I think bridal stores, you have to order that size. They don't carry them. Yeah.
Nowadays, people don't plan that for. They really don't.
Wait till last minute.
Yeah.
Hopefully not that day, but
no,
you did it. That's such a great story.
It is a great, because of the fact when they returned the dress, she had already flown back to California. The adopted father returned the dress. He goes, you don't understand how important that was to us. And I said, yes, she explained it to me. He says, but you made everybody cry. I go, it wasn't me. You guys found me. I was just here when you were ready.
It was the God thing. Oh, goosebumps.
God.
That's a
that was
story.
It's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, that's a great story to share. Wow. And where is this located?
Downtown Ralston.
Ralston's
only 2 blocks long. It's Main Street.
And it's a cute downtown.
It is. So we're in a red brick building. ITEX is on the bottom. St. Louis is on the top. We own the whole building.
Nice.
So when COVID happened, we literally, we owned the building, so we didn't have to worry about paying rent because we weren't going to pay it to ourselves.
Yeah.
But it was surprisingly, we're still busy because they were doing a lot of people decided to do photo ops in parks. Yeah. So they were coming, mother-daughter, photos for formal gowns, and they had backyard weddings, which kind of like, what, are you going to be walking around in the grass in my dress?
Like we got to get this, because you don't want to ruin the dress.
Well, we have, every client, you pay a very small insurance fee, like $5 or $10 insurance. I said, well, if you run, it's covered. Yeah. That's our fee,
Wow, that's so affordable. What's an average cost to rent a dress?
If you're long, it's probably going to be $68, $69, and then you return it, we clean it. And the cool thing about it is because our store is Cinderella's Formal Gown Rental, it's not due back by midnight.
Not too bad. You're not going to turn into a pumpkin.
That's right. So,
wow, that is beautiful. I got to check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. What else is up your sleeve? What's one thing that no one might not know about you? That you love, or music that you love, like mine is. I love the 40s. No one would ever guess that. 70s and 40s music. I love it. The swing age. So what's something that you can share right here on my talk show that no one would know?
In high school, I was a chess player.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And I was very good at it.
Wow.
I was
strategic.
Yes, very strategic. But I also played it. I was a girl, and there was like 200 guys. And there was only 3 girls in the chess team.
That's strategic right there, too. What are you talking about?
I wore short dresses. Yes. I threw them off their game. I did a little cheating.
I love that, Terri. Oh, my gosh.
So,
where were you going to school? Where were you living then?
In San Antonio, Texas.
Texas.
Yep. So that's where Dad retired, and that's where we ended
Was your
up.
dad in the military too?
He was Army.
Oh,
That's how
wow.
we were born in Hawaii. We lived in Germany,
Yes.
Arizona. So really cool. So I learned my goal. I mean, it wasn't a goal. I grew up adapting to a new environment,
Yeah.
new people. Just learn how to just talk and befriend people. Yeah.
That's so true because I've lived in multiple cities, and when I public speak at my keynote about the power community, I often ask how many people did I know in Omaha 5 years ago.
Oh, right.
5. My
That's
best,
it.
my daughter, her 3 roomies, and my best friend.
Oh,
But when you
nice.
take over the community, right, and you get involved and you volunteer, you become the community. It's not if you should be. It's not should I volunteer. It's you have to.
That's right.
Because they're your community.
Right, right. We work right now with ITEX 16 nonprofits.
Wow.
And we do volunteer. And my children all were reared and grown, to support the nonprofits, because it is their community. 2 of my sons are now grown. They own 8 ITEX offices. They practically have bought up all of Texas. They run 2 California offices and a Reno, Nevada office.
Wow.
So they still to this day do a lot of volunteer work because I always said, you got to give back.
Get back. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. How can people reach you? How can they find you, Terri?
ITEX.com.
Okay.
Cinderella's is easy. Just remember Cinderella. So Cinderella's formal gown rental. And then we're downtown Ralston, 7631 Main Street. And then our phone number is 402-592-2918.
Nice. Well,
So
thank you for
simple.
being my guest.
Well,
We're
thank
going to
you for
share
having
all of this.
me.
Make sure it's on Cox Channel 22, but it's also on my Power Up Talk Show YouTube channel too.
Okay.
But remember, go bargain. You're
Right.
missing out on great opportunities, trips, and building some great community relationships. So go bargain. Look up Terri ITEX and have a good day.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thanks, Terri.
Okay.